always lovely to have you. It's been a year since you spoke to us at FiLiA last year, and I know a lot's happened. Do you want to tell us a little bit about some of the stuff that you've been up to, some of the work that you've been doing over the past year?
Yeah, it has been a year down the road, and we really appreciate for all the support you've been rendering to us. We are still in the camp. I remember last year when we were talking about this, you say that this time next year you'll be out of the camp, but unfortunately we are still in the camp in the same situation like before. UNHCR hasn't done anything to help us, and we are still the same actually. We are still asylum seekers. We haven't got anything like refugee status, still asylum seekers, and still with no hope that maybe we are going to get help any sooner. Yeah, we really appreciate our international sisters, FiLiA, Jama lesbians, and everyone, Seattle sisters, for always standing for us. Because we don't know what we would have been by this time. We've seen many challenges, and this year it has been worse. Because everything that we used to get, at least last year it was okay because we could get some stuffs like free medicine, like if you get sick and you go to our LGBTI hospital, we could get a little of help. But this year it was totally off. Since last year they announced that in this year by June the camp was going to be closed. We just had that in rumors, but UNHCR never came up to tell us what was happening in the camp. The camp, I'm not so sure of what's happening, but a lot of things have changed. The services we used to get, like those other refugees who were not facing homophobia used to have children who are going to school, but this time around, schools are for paying. Hospitals, there is no medicine. Like if you go there, they just give you painkillers. For us, discrimination has become worse. We are still in the same way, and right now we are known more than ever. We are not free. We can't go to markets like freely unless if we are moving in groups. If we didn't have our international sisters to give us a hand through this whole situation, I don't know. We've been helped by our international sisters to get food, to get medication, to get children's school from last year's conference. We really appreciate that you managed to raise some funds and we got a school for the young children who were around. Also, the lesbians have been getting the essentials like sanitary wares, personal needs like women. So we are really so appreciative. But right now, since we are still in the same situation, we still need that support. We don't know when we shall get out of this camp. And we just beg you to don't get tired of this situation. And please, you can continue to advocate for us, can write for embassies in Kenya, those in Germany, German embassies in Kenya, and Canada embassies in Kenya. You can write all that. And this time around, the campaign we are running is on Twitter. You can tweet anything concerning this situation we are going through in the camp. We really appreciate you. In Geneva, they are there, and of recently, they declared that there are slots which are coming in. They need people. They need especially LGBTIs, and specifically in Kenya. So if we can get that thing, the RSD thing, if we can get the advocates from our international sisters, and by that time they start taking people. If we have that, if we are already refugees, we would have better chance to get out of this camp.
That's one of the things that we're really concerned about. You've talked about the sort of the closing down of the camp, things, services moving away, not being available. And we know with the elections in Kenya, there's a new president who, shall we say, is not keen on maintaining the refugee camp. And so for you, some of the options that are being offered to other refugees about maybe staying as a resident of Kenya or going back to their home countries, clearly both of those options are really dangerous for you. So we need to progress your refugee status as soon as possible so that we can get you to a safe country, because you can't be moved to a safe country until you've got that status. Is that right?
Yes, Sally, we really need to get out of this country. It's this hard in that some of the refugees are walking out of Kenya, trying to go to seek asylum in neighboring countries like Sudan, Zimbabwe. Yeah, they've walked away. And there are some whom we know who are LGBTIs who has also gone. Because it looks like, maybe we don't know what's really happening, but whatever it is, it breaks our hearts. People move from this camp and go. Other refugees like Somalis, Sudanese, they do move. And IOM of Kakuma is always active. People are traveling, getting away, getting resettled. But as LGBTIs, we are not given that opportunity. I really don't know what's the problem, but whatever it is, we really need your voices to advocate for us so that we can get worked on.
So we need our women to keep shouting, keep advocating and raising your case whenever they can.
Yeah, and especially on Twitter campaign. Yeah, if you get a chance, sisters internationally, if you get a chance to advocate for us, please, through Twitter, maybe directive messages to embassies, like that. Yeah, but Twitter is so good. These days, it's where we are fighting our battles from.
Regina, I know you've been a huge support to the women at the camp because of your nursing background. You're able to support, as Julie was saying, the hospitals are not helping you. They're not providing medical support freely at the camp as you used to get. So you've been able to help when some of the camp members have become ill with different ailments.
Ever since we came in the camp, we've been facing challenges of going to the UNHCR hospitals to get the health services. And it's all about our sexual identity. Most of the time was the reason why they give out the doctors, mostly because I've been visiting those hospitals most times, but they fail totally. And they claim that, you LGBTIs, you don't deserve to get health services. And we find ourselves when we are suffering a lot with minor injuries, but when you came on board and help us with the essential drugs, first aid kit, it is helping a lot. It helps the children, it helps the adults, the women, and all the gays. We still need your voice. We are still suffering, facing challenges, being attacked by the homophobes. We still need the first aid kit, the essential drugs to run our daily life.
I know one of the things that has always frustrated you is how the children can't get access to the education that you would want them to be able to have. But bearing that in mind, you haven't given up. You've done your best to provide. So do you want to talk a little bit about what you've been able to do for the children within the camp?
Most of you have seen me if you were in the FiLiA's conference last year, I was part of it and I spoke I'm from Kakuma refugee camp, Kenya, and I'm still an asylum seeker, though I've been here for 3.5 years. Last year, we had opened up a small school for the young ones at Block 13, and we did not have like school materials apart from some papers and pencils and that children used, and they were sitting on the ground. There was a night we had a fire attack and everything was destroyed, including all the little shelters we had, including the classroom that the children were using. So after the FiLiA conference, and FiLiA got some donations and some other sisters that came on board, like Seattle sisters and the German sisters. FiLiA managed to provide everything that could be used for the children's school. Tables, chairs, materials like pencils, pens, scholastic materials, blackboards, everything that we needed. And from that day till now, children have been having classes every day, apart from weekends, every day. And we have been getting monthly support from some sisters who were brought in by FiLiA also. That monthly support has been buying scholastic materials and some food for the school program for the children. Children are having their classes, and the most beautiful thing they are having with it is that the trauma they had has helped. The class has helped a lot with the trauma they had, the nightmares, and everything they were experiencing during the day. These children have been bullied by their fellow children, even adults in this camp. The South Sudanese and other fellow refugees have been bullied, abused, and told different things about their parents. Your mom is a lesbian, she's not worthy being a mom, you're also evil like a mom, a lot of things. And most of the lesbian parents here are blaming themselves for what their children are going through. But because we are having classes every day, we manage to give them activities that help them forget about the situation they are living in. We shed, we sing, we paint, we draw, we learn things. Children did not know how to write their name. They did not know what, if someone asks you, how old are you? They did not know how to count a lot. But telling the truth right now, they have improved and they are doing the best they can, though we are still living in the same situation. I call up everyone, for the sake of these children, everyone out there, to please continue helping us, especially in advocating for us, because honestly speaking, we are still in danger and we become very vulnerable each and every day because the situation is always worsening. I call upon everyone, whatever little thing you can contribute can count on our life, on the children's life, the vulnerable lesbians that have been raped, beaten, that have had a lot of trauma, that have suffered for their entire life. I call upon everyone to stand with us, to come and help us, to talk to the UNHCR so that we can get out of this place. And I thank FiLiA, Seattle sisters, and the German sisters. I cannot mention them here, but honestly, you are life saviors. We love you so much. You are the reason why we are still alive. You're the reason why I'm talking right now. And though you cannot get us out right now, but you have helped us to reach to date and to FiLiA's conference again. We love you so much, FiLiA. Thank you so much.
We've heard so much about the strength that you sisters have shown and the work that you're doing, and I think from all of us, a huge thank you for all that you do to support the other women in the camp and to make life a little bit more bearable with all that you suffer. And I know even just a couple of nights ago there was another attack against you, so this relentless homophobia that you experience is a backdrop to, you know, all the problems that you're dealing with in the camp anyway. And we've talked a little bit about some of the support, but Anne-Marie, I wonder if you could talk to us about what would be helpful, what the FiLiA women can do to support you going forward.
My name is Nalugwa Josephine Anne-Marie, a lesbian from Uganda, an asylum seeker in Kenya, part of the Block 13 group, but right now I'm in hiding in Nairobi. First of all, I would like to thank FiLiA for the tremendous work that you are continuing to do. You've stood with us in thick and thin. We really thank you so very much. But the journey has not yet ended. We are not yet there. Yeah, we are still struggling. We are still suffering. My sisters back in Kakuma are still facing the horrors of the camp as LGBTIQ people. We still need the support financially and advocacy wise. We really, really, really still need the support, because as my sisters have already explained the whole situation as it is, they have children, even the mothers, you know, a lot is going on. A woman is supposed to stay as a woman. You need that love, you need the care, you need the security, which is not available when it comes to us LGBTQ people here in the camp, here in Kakuma. So I mean in Kenya at large. We need that support, the love. My sisters back there, a lot of trauma has been going on. So I call upon my fellow lesbians, the fellow sisters internationally, please, we need your voices, because yes, we talk, but you are our voices internationally. We still need that awareness to the world. Some of the people, even they don't know what is really going on here in Kenya. They think because we are under the UNHCR, we really get the help we need, or the help we have to get. But truthfully, it is not what it sounds. We need protests to call upon the UNHCR to do what they're supposed to do. You cannot be an asylum seeker for years. Most of us, we are in 4 years, 5 years, still asylum seekers, which is really insane. Yes, we understand the COVID issues have been around, but at least there are almost 2 years ever since the COVID is out of the world. So we still need our sisters to raise our voices, to reach out, to write letters, to reach out to people. We really need like to be recognized as refugees, because like in every process, be it resettlement, be it sponsorship, we really need to be recognized first